if I become a 360 painting franchisee, do I have to be the next great painter?
No, and nor do we want painters in 360 painting. This is a business opportunity for somebody who, is not wanting to get up on a ladder and swing a brush. We want franchise partners who want to, I always say this, we are a technology and marketing sales company, and the service we happen to provide is painting.
Welcome to the Hire Yourself podcast. If you're ready to take control of your destiny, build wealth, and live life on your own terms, this is the place for you. Each week, Pete and I talk about business, franchising, and personal growth to help make you more successful.
Well, Nat, I'm really excited about today. We've got a special guest. Guess who it is?
I don't know who.
You don't know? Oh, I'm so excited about today. We're so lucky to have somebody that we've worked with a long time. Paul Flick is our guest today. And I was really happy when I found out he could join us. He is the founder and the CEO of Premium Service Brands, and he's built this really cool portfolio of franchise businesses. And I like that he is kind of changing industries. And I always kind of say he's a technology business in franchising. So welcome, Paul.
Thanks, Pete. Thanks, Nat. Appreciate you guys having me.
Oh, it's great. It's always good to have good friends on our podcast. So Paul, we'll start at the beginning. So tell us a little bit about how you got into this crazy world of franchising.
So, wow, that goes back a ways. So it was actually in the early 90s. During university, I got my start in franchising through one of the student painting companies up in Canada. So I'm Canadian, originally from Canada, and that student painting industry is very developed up there. And for 3 years, I did student painting during my summer months, and that sort of got the taste of franchising and specifically painting. And outside of 4 years after graduating, I joined Coca-Cola. But outside of that, it's always been in franchising, and specifically a lot of the painting industry.
All right. Yeah, I did painting in the summers in college too. And I got to tell you that I didn't know how to paint, and we painted a lot of houses. So I'm kind of sorry for that. But so we have a little bit of similar preference. Yeah. So okay. So you were with Coke. You left Coke. You invested in. Was your first franchise under Premium Service Brands? Was it 360 Painting? Is that correct?
That is correct. Yeah.
Okay. So tell me a little bit about your vision, Premium Service Brands. So I think how many brands do you currently have under your umbrella, Premium Service Brands?
We've got 6 different franchise brands under Premium Service Brands.
Can you just tell me real quick the 6 and share them with everybody?
Sure. 3 that I started organically were 360 Painting, ProLift Garage Doors, Handyman Pro, and then we did 3 acquisitions. One was Made Right. Another one was KitchenWise, and most recently was Renew Crew.
Oh, that's awesome. And so you have 6 brands, right? And so there's a lot of people that have multiple different brands under their umbrella, right? But tell me a little bit about what Premium Service Brands, what separates you guys from all the other companies that have multiple different brands? So what sets Premium Service Brands apart from others?
So I think that there's 2 differentiators, and there's a lot of great companies out there, whether it's Neighborly or First Service or Authority brands that have multiple franchise brands under a holding company, and they do a great job. What I always wanted to ensure was all the brands had the same end user. So we weren't dealing with different customers based on the brand. So we weren't some of the disaster restoration companies, their customer is actually the insurance company, not the homeowner. So we were all 6 of our brands focus on the same end user, and we're able to leverage that end user in real time. So a customer who hires a company to have their house painted is the same customer that's going to hire a company to have their house cleaned or fix their garage door or do handyman stuff around the house. So we're able to leverage, through direct email campaign, direct mail, because we have our own in-house call center. We're able to do outbound calling in real time as well. So we do a really good job of being able to leverage that end user. It makes it simple because we have all of our brands on the exact same platform.
Oh, that's great.
So regardless of what brand is servicing a customer, we have that customer information where companies like, again, First Service, which is a wonderful company, they run in silos. So all of their brands are operating off of different platforms. So it's hard to leverage those customers in real time or leverage them at all. So we always have the same end user, and they're always on the same software platform.
So you designed it so that you could get a share of the household spend, for lack of better terms, right? So you're primarily business to consumer, and you focus on providing services. Now, you're under the same platform. We'll spend a minute talking about that in just a minute. But the idea is that from your standpoint, the businesses, do they do cross referrals? So when I'm in there painting, I say, hey, listen, it looks like your garage door needs to be fixed. Or, hey, you just drove through your garage door. We'll fix the garage door, but you should call 360 Painting and paint, get it repainted.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. So the franchise partners where we have overlapping brands work together, and we provide them leave behinds, which is just pamphlets that when they've completed, say, painting the house, they leave a flyer behind that offers our other services in that area, whether it's garage door or maid service or handyman. So we're leveraging it, whether it's the franchise partner leaving something behind, or drip email campaigns or direct mail or outbound calling.
That's good. And if I'm the 360 Painting franchise and I do the leave by and it has the garage door, is there kind of a cross referral benefit to the franchisees for sharing or communicating or promoting the other brands?
So we've left that up to the franchise partners at the local level. If they want to have some cross, payment to one another, we encourage them just to go in with the best of intentions. And because, 360 will leave behind a flyer, well, ProLift guy's going to leave behind a flyer as well for 360. So we try not, encourage, I guess, the referral fee and just do it in good intention.
Awesome. And from a standpoint of premium service brand, so you've built this platform, for lack of better terms, and the systems, the processes, the technology. So tell us a little bit about kind of this infrastructure that you have behind premium service brands.
Yeah, so we actually have a CTO, a Chief Technology Officer. His name is David Raymond. And this is the one thing that we spend a great deal of investment and time in is our technology. Because if you look at the home service industry, it's very technology deficient. So if we're able to give our franchise partners an edge, whether it's through lead generation or tracking and managing their business, we want to provide that to them. So technology is obviously encompassing of everything we do, starting with the consumer lead generation. We use Scorpion for our marketing internet provider, which is the biggest and the best in class out there. And so we really focus on that. We focus on leveraging our end user. All of our franchise partners have mobile software, so they're able to produce estimates on the spot and provide it to the customer immediately. All that is fully integrated into our platform. So when a franchise partner at any time logs in, they're getting real-time information on their KPIs, how many leads they've generated, cost per lead, outstanding receivables, year-to-date performance versus budget. So they have a broad dashboard that they can track and manage their business in real time.
So how do you, we'll use 360 Painting because that's probably the one I'm most familiar with, right? So 360 Painting comes into the painting industry. You set up this great platform with a premium service brand. So tell us what separates 360 Painting from all the other painting franchises out there.
Again, I think it's our technology. I think we have the most robust technology that franchise partners use when they're at a customer's house to produce it, to produce an estimate. And that fully integrates into their dashboard or their platform to give them real-time information on how their business is performing. It is a very technology deficient industry. It is also very customer service deficient industry. So the more that technology we can implement into 360 Painting gives us an edge over the other painting franchises, but definitely gives us a huge edge over the mom pop shop at the local level.
Yeah. So let's use an example. You're coming to my house to do an estimate, right? So tell me how the technology plays into giving me an estimate for my house to get it painted.
Sure. Yeah, absolutely. So the technology works by, first of all, getting really accurate numbers. So we know exactly the cost to build into the estimate to do the job properly. The franchise partner will go around, get those numbers, put it into the mobile franchising or software, estimating software, and then we produce an estimate for the customer. And it's detailed, with pictures, specific what kind of paint we're using, what kind of finishes we're using. So there's no miscommunication between the franchise partner and what he or she has promised to deliver to the customer. So we're making it very transparent, and it's there that is printed off and it's emailed to them as well. So they have copies of it. So there's no miscommunication between the customer and the franchise partner.
Paul, I was told one time that your estimating tool that you have reduces the time of estimate by about 50%. So they can do like an exterior house in like 9 minutes or something like that. Is that true?
That's fair. That's probably with the caveat, 9 minutes is probably somebody who's been in the system for a little bit, but it definitely reduces the time. No question about it.
So Paul, if I become a 360 painting franchisee, do I have to be the next great painter?
No, and nor do we want painters in 360 painting. This is a business opportunity for somebody who, is not wanting to get up on a ladder and swing a brush. We want franchise partners who want to, I always say this, we are a technology and marketing sales company, and the service we happen to provide is painting. And we want people who are going to use the tools, the business in a box for no better word, but use those tools to implement at the local level a thriving home service business. But no, we're not looking for franchise partners who want to get up on a ladder and swing a brush. That's not why we built 360 painting.
Got it. So, okay, cool. And I heard about this. What you guys use when you go work with somebody, you have some really cool technology around color sensors. I think it's an NIX color sensor. Do you guys still use those where you can literally put it on top of the paint, this sensor, and it'll tell you what color it is? Do you guys still use those?
Yes. Yeah. So absolutely. So NIX, yeah, you are correct. So we'll use color, the NIX to put it up against a wall, which is exactly what you had just mentioned, and get the exact paint color and match it. But it also can be used to put it up against a pillow or a sofa or couch and get the color of that. And then it gives you a broad range of colors that would match and go on the wall. That would be complementary to the furniture you have in that room. So it's definitely more diverse than just matching paint as well. But yes, we do use that technology.
Good. And you guys have, you do obviously residential, but you also do commercial painting. Is that correct?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, we call it light commercial work.
Light commercial work. Okay, good. And what percentage is it residential versus commercial in terms of your business model?
It's probably going to work out to about 75% residential and 25% commercial this year.
Okay. And do you see that commercial growing or staying about the same?
No, I see it growing. We've grown that probably if I go back 5 years ago, we were probably at 85% residential and 15% commercial. So it's growing every year.
Okay. So give me the background of somebody that you get franchisees, right? You're building this network of franchisees. Give me an example of kind of the ideal franchisee you're looking for in terms of background, experience, or give some examples of people that have become 360 painting franchisees.
Yeah, I think somebody who obviously is very motivated and still is hungry for income. So maybe somebody who's in their 40s, 50s, is no longer seeing a path in the corporate world, that either has been downsized or has left and wants to control their own schedule, but also go out there and still provide for their family and scale a business. It's a very scalable business. We're looking for a franchise partner that has management skills, because we want them to go out and find a sales rep, a production manager. They'll have to learn the business initially, but we want them working on the business, not in it. We want them to be hiring people that are going out day to day, driving the revenue for them and producing the work. So somebody that's got management skills, good communication skills, strong work ethic, character, and integrity.
That's great. And so you want people that can build a big business. So I know you can scale
Absolutely.
by territories and crews, right? But do you allow people to scale with premium service brands to own multiple brands in the same territory, or simply put, scale vertically?
Yes, absolutely. And we encourage that. We have franchise partners that want to take on, say 2 territories of 360 painting, which we love and encourage that as well. But, to share in my vision of leveraging that end user, if you start with 360 painting, for instance, and then add Made Right or add Handyman Pro, you're already in that house. You've created a great customer experience for that customer. They're the same people that hire companies to do the other work around the house. So why not, leverage that? You already have built the trust. Your foot's in the door. Offer them maid service or handyman service around the house. So yes, absolutely. Multiple brand ownership is something that is part of our vision at Premium Service Brands.
Yeah. When I think when I talk to people that have invested in your franchise concept, I think a little bit about that they want to be involved in the community. And I know you guys do some special stuff with your, I think you have a foundation or something where you have a nonprofit. Tell us a little bit about kind of what you do in terms of the community or being engaged.
Yeah, so the foundation or the nonprofit is an organization called Kids Lift. It's something that is very near and dear to my heart. It was something that I had conceptualized back in 2012, and just, as of recently in the last 3 years have really implemented it within Premium Service Brands. And I am a big believer that everybody has to have a purpose-driven life. And it was started as something I was going to provide my daughter because she has special needs. She probably will never be with IBM or Coca-Cola, but I wanted her to have a purpose, and she loves kids. So we started here locally in Charlottesville, and we were providing weekend backpacks to kids that don't have food when they go home over the weekend. During the week, the schools would take care of them, feed them breakfast, feed them lunch, but they didn't have food to go home with. So we would have backpacks. They would be able to eat over the weekend, and then when they came home or came back to school on Monday, they were being fed. That has become a bigger demand, massive demand now that we're in the COVID-19 right now. So our efforts have been ramped up significantly. We also have different initiatives, back to school backpacks. So kids that can, or families that can't afford to have just the basic school supplies. So we're providing that for them. We also have sort of launching into the spring and summer is shoes, socks, shirts, and shorts that we're providing the kids as well. And once we sort of worked on that, and Samantha Lynn has just done a great job with it, we've now rolled it out to our franchise partners. And Brian Conrad, who is very near where you are, Peter, and that he has just done him and his wife have done a remarkable job of leveraging, Kids Lift with the brand 360 painting. And we want to become part of the community, whether that's in Nashville with the Hubbardson Made Right or the Southwest down in Bentonville, Arkansas. It has been, rolled out to all the franchise partners that want to be a part of that. And we're encouraging them to get involved in their local communities. And this Kids Lift was a way for them to get involved that was already had structure around the programs that they were executing at the local level. And we've gotten a lot of press from it. It's been great having the TV stations and local newspapers write about it. And that's our way of getting back into the community and giving back, and obviously branding with our local franchise partners.
Well, you got to feel very proud of what you've created and making a difference in kids' lives, and you couldn't pick a better time to be doing it, right? Lots of people needing assistance as we go through these crazy times. So congratulations on having a dream and then fulfilling that, or building it out and allowing franchisees to be involved in the community. So you're always looking to find good franchisees, and in franchisees, potential candidates come to you in many different ways. And Nat and I, we're franchise consultants, so we help people explore franchises, kind of connect them with good franchises like Premium Service Brands. And so tell us a little bit about where you see the benefit of somebody that if they come to you just on their own or they come through a franchise consultant. Explain a little bit where you see there's maybe some benefit of somebody helping them through the process of finding the right match, the right franchise opportunity.
So if they come directly to us, they are not nearly as qualified as they are when they come through either yourself or Nat. As you know, Pete, there are just under 5,000 franchises out there. Maybe it's over 5,000 now, and from so many different industries. So when a candidate were to come to either of you and say, hey, you know what, here's what I want to do. I want to own a McDonald's, because everybody sort of, I think, has franchising is so tied to the restaurant industry. And there's vast, I mean, there's the pet industry, there's the fitness, there's the home service. And to navigate those waters and for you to qualify them based on their skill set, what their goals are, and financially, bringing that person to us, that qualified and that focused on what you have narrowed it down to out of the 5,000 franchises makes all the difference in the world in terms of us getting a better candidate that is qualified and that is ready to move forward. You know, so your services are, if somebody came to us directly, we should start pushing them to you guys, because at least you could bring us a qualified person. There's a lot of heavy lifting you guys do, but to navigate those different kinds of franchises and different kind of industries is a daunting task. And I always hate to see somebody make the wrong decision going into franchising. And I think that's what you guys do. You guys sort of, narrow it down for them so they're focused on what they should be looking at.
No, that's awesome. And I think, and when we talk about people becoming franchisees, and now we're these crazy times of COVID-19. So tell us a little bit about how you guys, over the last 120 days, we went through this, one of the toughest times we've had with business here, with this pandemic, everything shutting down. Tell us a little bit about how some of your franchisees have adapted or evolved in the way in which they're doing business to survive the last 120 days.
Yeah. So it was March 9th. I can tell you, it's Monday, March the 9th. We had made the decision as an executive group to shut the office down here in Charlottesville. And so that week, everybody was sort of transitioning back to their homes. And I thought for sure we were headed for the Great Recession of 2008 again. And I was just like, not something I wanted to go through again. And it couldn't be anything further from the truth. Our team here, they pivoted and executed and gave the tools to the franchise partners that they needed to continue to run their business, whether it was doing virtual estimates, contactless payment systems. So the messaging out on social media that it was still safe to have people around if they took the precaution. So we continue to grow month over month, year over year, with the one exception, and that was the Made business. The Made business got soft, and I think, Pete, that was just because people panicked, and rightfully so. And we saw a little softening in March. We took our biggest hit in April. May got better, and then June we're almost back up to where our 2019 numbers were on a same location. So that took a bit of a soft hit. And now we're back up to where we were last year. But all the other brands really flourished. And we gave the messaging out to the consumers through social media on Instagram and Facebook. And then we gave the tools to the franchise partners to do virtual estimates and contactless payment opportunities. So it's been incredible. We're up 23% versus last year. Franchise sales are up 19%. Thanks to you guys in part. And so it's been a great year so far. It definitely was not the Great Recession.
Well, you got to feel very proud of your team helping and giving the tools to the franchisees, and then certainly the franchisees executing. So what advice would you give to somebody today that, we're still in the midst of this pandemic, whatever it's going to bring us? What advice would you give to somebody that's thinking about looking at investing in a franchise? I mean, these are uncertain times. It's kind of crazy. What advice would you give somebody thinking about it?
I can speak to really the home service industry, and my heart goes out to the people in the fitness world or the restaurant industry that they've taken a hit for sure. But the home service industry is resilient right now, and it's growing, at record pace. We see that people are around their home a lot more than they ever have been. They're seeing the things that they wanted to get done 6 months ago, they're now getting done. They also know that, 6, 12, 18 months from now, they're still going to be around their home. They're not going to Disney. They're not going on a cruise. They're not jumping on a plane. So they're investing where they're going to be and making things better, improving things. So from a home service standpoint, I think it's an incredible opportunity to get into. The SBA has done a great job in terms of providing funds for franchise partners to start their business, covering the first 6 months of their payments, both principal and interest. So this is a great time. Prior to the COVID-19, our challenge was labor. It was a tight labor market. That was our focus on how do you get good people to produce the work you promised to the customer. Now, the phone is still ringing as much as it did before COVID-19, but we're finding we're getting amazing people, or franchise partners are, to produce the work, to interact with the customer and get the jobs done. So it's a great time for the home service industry.
That's great. Well, Paul, congratulations on having the vision of creating premium brands, all the infrastructure, and how you're making a difference in the world and changing industries. So it has been a real pleasure having you here today. And we thank you for everything you shared. And again, congrats on all your success.
Well, thanks, Pete. Really appreciate you having me this morning, and really appreciate our partnership that we've had, and that you as well over the years. You guys are a valued partner of ours, so thank you.
Thanks for listening to the Hire Yourself podcast. For more resources, check out our website at hireyourself.com. And remember to subscribe to this podcast to receive each episode. Please leave us a rating, and we'd love to hear your feedback or suggestions for topics.